My name is Andrew, and I am the creative designer as well as the aspiring author behind these concept initiatives, various thematic dialogues and explorations amidst nutritional science in the context and frames of inaccessibility and economics. So the way that I'm actually presenting this entire second experiences is once again checkpoint per checkpoint basis, outlining and showcasing you how I feel, as well as also what I prepared, and also what sort of drinks and or anything that I relied upon throughout all my fasting window. And also I will be supplying as many typographic annotations to help explain and to elaborate with you certain points. And unfortunately, I will not be able to actually showcase you all the exact full-length training evidence from start to finish, because otherwise it will just get far too verbose and certainly unwatchable. However, throughout this video, I instead would like to introduce my post-workout afterthoughts instead. And once again, as a bit of disclaimers as well as reminders, this is not meant to be a prescriptive panacea, nor do I suggest that this may constitute a cure to any medical conditions. Having that disclaimer aside, and also just a bit of a reminder that I have also done a full-fledged feature writing article based on these two trial experiences. So please feel free to read and share the blog article whenever you have the time. And I would love to hear your thoughts and comments down in the comment section below. Having said that, let us begin. So my apologies that I'm just using the Sony NEX5R microphone here, but here we go. This begins the second attempt on my prolonged intermittent fasting experiment. The time now is 8:30 p.m. on Friday, and this is pretty much where it all begins. Soda water with Himalayan salt and ACV. Okie dokie, so this is the checkpoint amidst fasting window still on a Friday. So the time that I'm actually recording this is at 10 p.m. So this is pretty much the point side with my usual feeding window. So this is how I've been just slowly sipping through my soda water as per usual, as it was before, which was, to remind you once again, the ACV plus with a bit of Himalayan salt. And what I'm doing this, so for something different here, I am going to try to see if it actually impacts my glucose meters as well as my keto meters. I'll be trying diet light sodas, just mixing it like that, and just swirl it around. So yeah, that's that. And also a bit of a contingency, once again, just a pinches of salt, my potassium, just a bit of insurance. What I will do is just put in a sprinkle. There we go. Definitely a lot more palatable than just drinking water and or just sipping through salt. Okay. But all in all, that's that. Until the next checkpoint, I shall see you next time. Good morning. So this is pretty much the last checkpoint before it is my sleeping window. Well, I'm saying good morning because this is technically speaking Saturday at precisely 20:12 a.m. in the morning. And I'm still, as you can see, just finishing it through my soda water with the diet right serve as was before, just to taste, just the amount that I find palatable, at least not too sweet and not too salty either. It's been quite busy for me trying to also still continuing the collateral work that's required on not just the video editing but also the web development, and still on the rewriting on the manuscript for nutrition humility as part of the giant massive rebranding processes. And that in terms of hunger wise, I would say no, I'm not craving anything, not really hungry at all, really at the end of the day, so long as I'm still just taking a finger lick amount of my Himalayan salt, like so, I feel fine. And also alongside with a potassium chloride, so just a little bit of tiny pinch of amount within my drinking water. I feel fine, really. Nothing much to report, really, at the end of the day. I shall see you in the next checkpoint. And so, good afternoon. Saturday at 12:30 p.m. Roughly 36 hours. So now, there's a couple of things I would like to share with you. First of all, glucose testing. This is, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see that. This is at 3.5 millimolar at 41% hematocrit level. Ketone testing, especially blood natriuretic strips, are very, very expensive. Extremely expensive to the point whereby with that much amount of money, $1.50 is already equating to one good serve of a protein meal. One good serve of a macronutrient serving of a protein, so to speak. Am I tired? Yes, but at the same time, I feel alert and always being in a state of constant awareness all around me. Yes, there seems to be a markedly reduced sleep quality in terms of duration. So I did a bit of a brief research on this, as such that sleep quality may yet be, in some interpretations, is actually considered to be a good thing. Yes, I did feel a little bit tired and akin to that as a slight hint of a feverish-like state or an immune response. No, not that I actually feel sick or anything, but it is more like a slight hint of a hangover. That would be the best uh, way of analogy that I can actually think of. So I shall see you in the next checkpoint. So once again, for another checkpoint, although this is actually a bit later than my previous prolonged intermittent fasting checkpoint, which was taken on a Saturday at 3:30 p.m. So right now, the time is 3:53 p.m. As for the glucose and ketone measurements, the ones that we have been waiting for. So this is the ketones, 4.0 millimolar. Now, as for the glucose, it is at 4.0 millimolar at the hematocrit level at 46%. Now, this is me still sipping through my second cup of coffee, and that one of the many distinct differences this second attempt is such that I am not actually utilizing any alcar or acetylated L-carnitine yet. However, I'll be doing so. I'll be incorporating just a little bit of alcar once again as part of a pre-training, not only a pre-training ergogenic aid, but also as a stress antioxidative contingency insurance policy. So what did I feel from witnessing these ketone readings and these glucose readings? Well, compared from the last time or the initial prolonged intermittent fasting experience and experiment, I actually felt more stable. More stable. That is that compared to how I was feeling last time, I was actually feeling as though that this rush of heat sensation was pretty much nil. Yes, I feel tired just like any other day, really, any other prolonged intermittent fasting experience. Witnessing this ketone readings isn't something that I would glamorize or uphold as such that it is any reason to celebrate. The way I see it as such that no matter what sort of glucose or ketone readings per se, both are all, under my own opinion though, considered subjective speculation also, likewise as such that both are nonetheless obligatory energy sources to be used nonetheless sooner or later. But all in all, that's enough from me. The time is now 4 p.m. I shall have to now finish on what I still have to do within my video editing portions of the concept initiative, and as well as also there is still so much more that I have to actually continue upon. But then again, I still have to factor in the meal prepping, as I shall have to look forward for the refeeding opportunity for the carbohydrate allowance also to coincide within today, which is Saturdays, as well as also for Sunday. Another day, another week has gone by. So the time is 6:40-ish p.m. as I'm recording this. But all in all, in total, there was around about 7 to 8 exercises. The full list I shall actually disclose, either on the left or the right side of this video. But yeah, so far so good. A little bit better than I expected. However, it's quite subjective really at the end of the day, because considering that I have my still that I'm still trying to manage my lower back susceptibility to disc degenerative condition known as the ankylosing spondylitis. It is an idiopathic syndrome. Idiopathic meaning that it is for many years there is still no known cause, except for the fact that it is considered or suspected to be an autoimmune condition. But that's not as a TLDR. So anyway, get back to the exercises. All in all, 7 to 8 exercises, and so far so good though. Nonetheless, that I have just broken the fast with the whey protein shake and a bit of milk in there as well, with vitamin D with a bit of K2. It's been a long time, but so far so good. And so here we are. The time is now 8:50 p.m., which is actually more or less 2 hours, or well, nearing 2 hours after I actually ingested my calorific intake, in which that was the post-workout protein with a bit of milk and extra water just to dilute it all together. And so, because of the fact that this has been quite late of a first meal, because of the fact I've been, again, very busy trying to still meal prepping, and that also I'm trying to organize the next series of videos that needs to be re-edited and produced and adjusted within Final Cut Pro 10. Hence, that's why there's just still a lot of running around obligations. Again, such as life as a content creator and an aspiring author, and it's double handling multiple lives when it comes to supplementation wise between HCl pepsin and magnesium chelated. Again, just try to keep it simple. So the meal will be composing of drumsticks. There was batched previously with honey, and also with although you don't see it here, I'll better grab more soy sauce. And yeah, that's that really. And this drumstick will be around about 250 and 300 grams worth. And depending on the camera's battery, the time that you're actually watching this may or may not be interrupted, considering that it's my smartphone is actually running out of battery. So that's that really. It's time for me, if you shall excuse me, it's time for me to enjoy. So that's that. Oh no, that's that. Nothing to elaborate, nothing complicated. Just drumsticks, which is the boiled method, with honey to taste. And once again, I'm very grateful, very, very grateful. Once you have been fasting for at least 40 hours, or in this case, 40. Oh dear, let's say I even lost count at times, which I don't know, I forgot because I've been fasting in this prolonged intermittent fast. It made me realize just how grateful I am over just how simple things, but still also with the fact that I have to celebrate with other sweetening incentives, really make my day. So once again, thank you for watching this yet another elaborate feature presentation. And should you have any comments and thoughts, please do so. Intermittent fasting, at the end of the day, is not about inciting, nor is it to raise moral crusade over another's belief and our value systems when it comes to nutrition. Intermittent fasting is simply reconciling your own scientific space, privacy, and agency. All in all, I shall actually look forward for the rest of the day today, which is going to be encompassing my refeeding window. We shall hope. So this is pretty much the carbohydrate sources that I have. Just in the meantime, again, I'm still trying to actually meal prepping more of the carbohydrate novelty desserts. But then again, this is just a showcase of transparency for the small carbohydrate section, which is just my own flatbread recipe, which this is just nothing more but 100 grams of plain flour with a little bit of olive oil, just as an emulsifying agent to make sure that everything's blended. And this is a rush, immediate batch of chicken liver pate. So I'll be enjoying this with the bread. So yeah, once again, let's read you the conclusion. So that's that really. Chicken drumsticks, batch with soy sauce, and a little bit of vegetable, Thailand vegetables there on the stove, or boiled method, with honey. And then on the second portion, we have 50 grams worth of plain flour, and with a tiny bit of olive oil, yogurt, and of course, the arguably the most important of all multivitamins out there, liver pate. In this case, chicken liver pate. I hope you actually enjoyed this yet another addendum, real taste of eating evidence at ending and showcasing you the very first solid meal experience, which is not a lot, but then again, rest assured that I'll also need to refeed myself properly and sufficiently as accordingly. Pretty much, that's pretty much it really. I am right now looking forward to pretty much enjoy my refeeding allowances. So what I'm actually having right now is just a carbohydrate refeeding allowance treat, which is just a makeshift and quite a rush recipe, I must say. Because yeah, this is mango cake, which is all it is just 250 grams of with a plain flour, 2 eggs, olive oil, cream, and 2 lots of mangoes, and pretty much blend them all together in the oven for around about 45 minutes until it is until the toothpick does clean, and that's that really. I shall enjoy this for tonight as well as for tomorrow as well. So as you can see, this video may yet be running a little bit too long-winded already. I would like to nonetheless present to you my condensed thoughts as a retrospect commentary notes throughout Sunday the 27th of November 2022. So, first of all, let's begin with the calorie intake overall. As you can see, either displayed on the left or on my right, you can see the entire calorific breakdowns. This is what I typically structure and label it as my delayed refeeding window. Delayed meaning that I intentionally, yes, on purpose, delay my refeeding window towards the afternoons, in which the very first meal pretty much consists of a sweetened dessert incentive, in which back in that day it was just a makeshift mango cake. And then also I would like to include in any other accessory condiments such as yogurt if it was available during that time. But of course, more importantly, trying to still emphasize in some way, shape, or form protein intake. As you can see, as according to what you see there on the MyFitnessPal screenshot, I have been still experimenting with various beans and legumes, although in this case here, specifically chickpeas, Tyson chickpeas in this case here. So I've been exclusively experimenting that, and I've pretty much relied on milk, teaspoons of honey, as well as my casein shake back then when things were relatively affordable, but not so much now. And then following from that, my evening calories is typically where I actually start tapering off or reduce my calorific intake. Once again, depending on my hunger levels. If I'm still hungry, then sure, I'll try to I'll try to increase my calories. All of this depending on what is available. So that pretty much concludes my entirety of a snapshot retrospect thoughts from afternoons, and in which that stretches all the way until evening towards my sleeping window. Now, let us proceed to the conclusion of this presentation. The date and time of hours that I'm actually recording this is Sunday, 12th of March, 4:41 p.m. And I can honestly and wholeheartedly summarize this entirety of experience as nothing else as yet another eye-opening experience. that ketosis is a lot more elusive than it sounds, and you won't be able to relate someone else's experience compared to yours. And then number two, it is certainly not something to be glamorized upon. It is nothing euphoria. Certainly, it's not one of those, oh, you want to get up and be happy and be joyful about it, akin to just say a high sugar rush per se. It's nothing like that. And yet, it's not about being you feeling frail either, that you feel fragile, so to speak. Very difficult to describe unless you get to feel it within your own self. And again, this is also important stuff as a disclaimer, as such that none of what I've experienced here may yet be immediately be applicable to someone else. This entire experience is taken from the account over someone who's had not weeks, not months, but years learning the dietary exclusion and re-inclusion protocols. Exclusion and re-inclusion protocols, starting from, as we all know, the low carbohydrate protocols for at least 1 year or two. Before then, you have to start tinkering with carbohydrate intake to assess your fitness training capacity. And not only that, you have to then follow by years, again, not months, but years of tinkering. And tinkering by way of excluding and re-including any other suspecting foods. Bit by bit, little by little, month in, month out, all the way until I progressed into the more advanced and more complex forms. Cyclic ketogenic regimens, targeted ketogenic regimens, and right now, as we all know, intermittent fasting regimens. And also, just for a bit of a notice and announcement, I wholeheartedly apologize that I may not be able to actually produce any feature lengthy presentations such as this in the near future, because of the fact that my lifestyle changes, as well as also my living arrangements will soon change as well. And on the flip side, I will try to instead be focusing my energy, as well as however best and or however few time I have left available, day in, day out, to nonetheless going back into the rebranding side of responsibilities, and also to write more blog articles, including also the sneak peek previews whenever I have the chance over the upcoming next few weeks, upon me elaborating and showcasing you just a few more sneak peek draft chapters over what the entirely new set of rebranding and the new apparent manuscript chapters is and soon will be going to look like. Once again, signing out. My name's Andrew. Live it forward. And I thank you for watching.